Hi, so in this video, we will cover overall structure questions. So on your official SAT, you are likely to see 1 to 2 questions that ask you about the overall structure of the passage. These questions will focus on the progression of ideas in the text. You might be asked questions similar to these. Which choice best describes the overall structure of the passage? Over the course of the passage, the main focus shifts from your job will be to identify how ideas are organized within the flow of the passage. Common errors. So number one is near misses. Wrong choices can often be almost right or even half right, but then use 1 or 2 words that invalidate the whole choice. That is, they make the entire choice wrong. So we've already covered this tip in other questions. Number two, unsupported claims. Wrong choices will often make statements that sound good or make sense, but they'll go beyond the actual content of the passage to some idea that isn't directly addressed. The answers to overall structure questions focus on the main ideas of the passage, and they won't go beyond the passage. Right. The third is too narrow. Make sure the answer choices you choose describes the overall structure of the text and not just part of the text. Wrong choices that are too narrow might focus on some details and fail to identify the broader point. What are tips and strategies? Number one of the is read actively. So one of the ways to increase reading comprehension is to summarize the passage as you read them. We've already covered this tip in detail when we studied the SQ3R strategy, and we've covered this in other reading type videos as well. Number two is check out the bones of the passages. So reading non-fiction, especially expository writing, central ideas can often be found in similar places within the passages. So the thesis statement, which summarizes the main claim of the passage, will usually show up in the first few sentences. A topic sentence is usually the first sentence of that paragraph, and the final paragraph will frequently restate the main point of the passage by summarizing everything that has previously been said. We need to track the progression of ideas in the passage and look to these places first. You should be able to use these bones to describe the overall structure. The third tip is simplify ideas. Determining the overall structure of a passage is not about focusing on details. Instead, it's about simplifying the particulars of the text into a journal shape. How do ideas within the passage interact? Do they agree, disagree, or build off one another? Focus on these general relationships instead of getting lost in the details. If we know how the passage progresses in a journal sense, we will be able to identify shifts in focus. So that's how you can tackle the overall structure questions. In the next video, we will cover another question type.